Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on another episode of Odoo's Live Services. Today, we are going to be having few Q&A sessions whereby I'm here as a Odoo consultant helping you answer any questions that might come across. My name is Toshan Dubashi, and I'm a product expert here at Odoo San Francisco office. And today, I'll be driving you to this session. Before we begin the session, I would actually like to go over a few guidelines that we'll follow for today's. So let's take a look. So starting off, like I mentioned, it's going to be a live ad hoc Q&A with an Odoo certified consultant. And during this process, I'll be going over answering your questions and guiding you through a few tips and tricks as needed. Of course, I have a standard database ready in the latest version for any demos that I can show you today. And also, I'll be answering any standard functional and certain technical questions. But do note that, certain complex questions might require deep analysis, so which requires success packs. Also, any bugs or any accounting data issues or performance issues, it's better to submit a support ticket for these issues, or a success pack would be a better option as well. Remember that I'm also going to be addressing like multiple questions at once. So there's a chance that I might group certain questions together in a combined answer as well. But to start things off, I will be going over a few simple questions and then we can take it from there. Okay. Also, I do have my team on standby so you can post your questions in the chat of the session. And then as the questions come in, I will review them and I will answer them as well. So, proceeding. Okay. Now I'm going to open up the database and let's take a look at what questions they can come up with. So let's open up the database. So here we have the database, and as the questions come in, I'm going to answer them. So for start things off, I just want to quickly show you, the accounting app, just as a quick understanding of what are the requirements needed to start using the accounting app. So let's get into the accounting app. I'm just going to search for accounting. And the first thing is we go to configurations, settings. So one of the most important things you need to do first is make sure that your correct localization is installed. So in this case, I'm in the US company right here. So I can make sure that my fiscal localization for the United States is installed right here. So without that, this basically installs your journals for you, your different chart of accounts for you, right? All the necessary configurations that you might need, like the default taxes, they get automatically installed as well. Do note that in this specific database, you might see that there's certain data already. Like for example, if I go to my dashboard, you will see that there's certain database data here. So this is because, I preloaded some demo data onto the database. So it is easy for me to show you certain features of Odoo essentially. Okay, so I see that there is one question here. The question is, what was the thought behind changing the bank reconciliation process in Odoo 19 as a previous version, as it's far more easier and quicker to do bank reconciliation? So one of the reasons to do this is actually because, performance-wise, this was just much easier for us to maintain on the dashboard, like this dashboard change. Along with that, it is a much more complex view than you are seeing right now. One more point is that you have so many different options through this button that you can, perform different kinds of reconciliation. So that's one of the reasons for that change. And personally, I like this, this change much better. You have the different statements segregated here. So you can see this was from a previous statement. This was from the opening statement. So as the statements come in, you get everything in one go, as compared to the previous one where you see all the list of transactions in one screen as a whole. And it's also like a running balance as it keeps going ahead. Okay, I hope that answers your question. All right. So do we have any more questions? Okay, so as the questions come in, I'm going to proceed with showing you more details. So one more thing is, as I mentioned, as soon as you install the fiscal localization, you have your journals created. So like I mentioned, if I go to journals, you'll see that there's by default the sales, purchase, bank, miscellaneous operations. All of these journals are right here. And along with that, you also have your inventory valuation. So there's one more thing we need to also talk about when it comes to your accounting is if you go to your settings and your chart of accounts. So as I mentioned, your chart of accounts get automatically installed. So when I click on this, you will see that Odoo default comes with so many different chart of accounts, and these are specific to your US localizations. But do note that you can always choose to remove certain chart of accounts and add your own, or also choose to rename certain chart of accounts if you don't want to delete them. My personal recommendation is always to reuse what is already there. So if you do not like the wording of something but it matches what you do, just go ahead and change the name. So for example, I want to call this something else. I can easily go to this and call it any other name I want, and Odoo will continue using them. So, and I do want to specify that there are certain sacred accounts within Odoo as well, for specifically for accounting, like the AR account, you have the accounts receivable. So you have the accounts receivable. Similarly, you have the accounts payable. Like certain similar, like you have your outstanding payments account, outstanding receipts account. So certain accounts are pretty stable, like sacred accounts as you call them. Like, so instead of creating new ones, my recommendation would be to always reuse them or always rename them. Right? So do not delete them. Okay, so having said that, there's also like the tax paid account and the tax received account, inventory valuation account. And yeah, there's one more change in version 19, as you might have known. This is version 19.3, but the change came in from version 19.0, is that the valuation has changed. So there's one more recommendation I would like to give is in your inventory valuation account right here, which is created by default, reuse it. But you will see that there's a variation account here. So by default, it comes set. But if it is not set, then make sure you come and set it. This is helpful when you're upgrading. So for newer databases, this will be set. But for databases that you're upgrading to version 19, this account might not be set. So once you do upgrade, make sure you set this account so that Odoo can use this account to have a corresponding entry for your inventory valuation as well. One more thing is this account needs to be of the type current assets. Okay. Another configuration I would like to talk to you about is when I go to configurations and settings, is your costing method and your valuation method specifically. So let's quickly take a look at that. So as you know, within, let me just find the setting for you here. So inventory valuation. So we have two options. One is periodic, the other is perpetual. Well, what is the difference? One of the main difference is with perpetual, you will have your cost of goods sold affected at invoicing, and also your vendor bill gets posted to your inventory valuation account. So this is for perpetual. But with periodic, your vendor bills directly get posted to expenses. So essentially, you're recognizing your expenses at billing versus perpetual, you recognize it when you're selling it. Okay. But when it comes to your evaluation, you have your periodic valuation here. This is, if you want a daily, you can choose to be daily or even monthly. And what you need to do is once you have, so for version 19 onwards, you need to make sure you go to review and you go to inventory valuation, which is right here, and then generate the specific entries that needed. So if I can just change my companies here, I can show you. So as you can see, based on the different stock moves that already has occurred for my database, Odoo is telling me that, okay, you can choose to generate an entry whereby generating this entry will impact your stock valuation account so that your books show what your value is as of the current moment. So if needed, you can always come here and generate that entry for your accounting side of things. So we do have another question here. So what does the upgrade process look like? Okay, yeah, definitely we can go over the upgrade process today as well. And we can also show you the different platforms that Odoo has, whereby, what and the different upgrade steps needed for each one of them. So what I can do is, let me just quickly show you. So there is specifically for your Odoo SaaS databases, the upgrade process for this is through your portal. So that means you need to go to your accounts or odoo.com. Actually, I can quickly show you that as well. So if I go to my my subscriptions. So yeah, in my database, I have the option. So right now I don't have the upgrade option for this one, but if this was in a lower version, I would have easily been able to upgrade. Because right now I'm in the maximum version. Currently, Odoo released it, so of course I'm not able to upgrade. For your SaaS databases, you would have to do it through your portal. Okay, let's just go ahead and 1 second. Let's connect to your database again. Pull the database up. All right. For your Odoo SH, remember that for Odoo SH databases, you can choose to either upgrade through the SH project or through a portal that we have. It's called upgrade.odoo.com. So this portal actually contains a different methods of upgrading. It contains a detailed instruction. So I would advise you to refer to this. So for on-premise customers, you have these two options. For Odoo SH, like I mentioned, you have the Odoo SH upgrade tool that is through the Odoo SH project. The steps are mentioned here. And also you have the option of uploading. That means you can download a backup from your Odoo SH project and then upload it here for Odoo to upgrade it for you. So once the upgrade is completed, Odoo is going to send you an email with an upgraded backup. And then you re-upload that backup into your Odoo SH project again. Okay. And then online is something that we just went over right now. Either you can do it directly to the database, like I mentioned, or through the portal as well. Okay. So going ahead, let's take a look at the next question. What is the best way to set up shipping in the US that takes into account product size and weight and selects the best shipping method? Okay, so let's take a look. So first of all, we need to talk about the different shipping methods that currently Odoo has. So for that, I'm going to open up my inventory application, then go to configurations and settings. So within this, we have the different shipping methods that Odoo currently supports. So let me just show you. Here. So you have your UPS, DHL, USPS, FedEx, and some of the other ones like EasyPost, and even Envia. So to answer your question, the setup based, so the Odoo's shipping method, all of these shipping methods usually take into account your product weight and your package size. So that's your dimension there. So you can define a specific, like I can go to shipping methods for you right now. Where are my shipping methods? Just search for it. Just activate some. So delivery methods. So as you can see, when I installed them, there were few fixed one. So now there are a few options here. If you're trying to use one of the providers, then it's going to be strictly based on the product weight, where it is configured right here. If I go to inventory, you have the product weight here. Okay. And also we have something called as packages. So when I go back to my delivery methods right here, and if I were to show you like this one as an example, you have the package here. This is the package for specifically bpost, but for if I were to install, let's say FedEx, for example, let me just install FedEx and you will see that as well. just do FedEx, install. All right. So if I go to delivery, okay, you see that, this database has installed these two. So again, like I mentioned, you have your FedEx package type, which is here. And so the way Odoo shipping methods work is you have your specific service and the specific package using which, and the weight of the product, using which Odoo gives you an estimate of the specific shipping cost. And then at the delivery order method, you can essentially choose to put it in a different pack as well. So that is how you would set it up. So if I go to sales, so right now we don't have a test credentials configured for FedEx within this, but I can quickly show you how to add shipping. So you have this printer. This, you need to make sure that this printer has weight on it. So just make sure you put something, right? And then you add shipping from here. You select the specific provider that you want. You have the total order weight here. You can choose to additionally add more if needed, and then you hit get rate. Essentially, there's a chance that I might get an error here, but if it was, as I mentioned, the credentials were not set up. But if the credentials set up correctly, Odoo will pull in the cost, and then at the delivery order level, you would have you can choose to put it in a different pack as well. Okay. So in terms of selects the best shipping method, you will have to select different shipping methods to see which one you would like to use based on the cost as well. Okay, so going ahead, this question is specific to eCourse. I'm unable to add a certification that connects my course. I viewed your videos for this, but it did not resolve my issue. Add a certification that connects my course. So is this for eCourse as an e-learning app, I'm guessing? So we can take a look. Let me install the e-learning app first. Seems to be still installing. Okay. Oh yeah. So of course, e-learning will require the website. So it's asking me to install. So one thing to note here is remember that certain apps have dependencies with each other. So installing one app might require you to install another app. So that is what is happening right now. So let me just quickly do that. Yeah. I just saw clothing, actually furniture. Just select and build my website. So just give it some time. So another thing while this loads is Odoo has multiple themes to choose from, especially from a website app. So you can always leverage that to set up your website the way you want it to be. So as you can see, the moment I'm selecting it, it is trying to apply the specific theme that I'm selected essentially. So while that goes ahead, let's take a look at any other questions that might be there. Can you please go over how to set up forecasting for products? Is this forecasting in a way to see, do you want to manufacture the products in a way? Are you trying to use the PLM? Then we have that definitely. So I can take a look at that as well. Or is it more of, trying to have like a certain amount of quantity at a minimum amount of quantity in your warehouse, so make sure you never run out? Then we have something called as reordering rules as well. Okay. So let's take a look at e-learning. So we have this courses here, but let's take a look at settings first. So we have certifications and manage certifications. Let's take a look. So I'm able to add a certification that connects my course. So you can always come in here and create your certification, right? You can be like, okay, this is a certification. You can put the specific questions in it and thereby configure it for you. Also remember that, so if I go to options and here we have the specific certification. You have modern is the certification, modern black. You have the different, and you can let's click on the preview as well. Oh, let me just set a name. So I'm going to call this new certification. Save. Preview. So you have this option. So it shows you the different options that Odoo can provide. And then you select it right here based on the one that you want. I hope that answers your question. And also it tells you the required score that you need to pass the specific certification based on the questions that you have. And then you can set it up from there. So these are the certification options that you can get. And you can choose to do one of them as well. Note that the certification is dynamic. So like based on the name and everything, Odoo is going to pull that information, and the attendee, Odoo is going to pull the information onto the certification for the attendee. All right. So going ahead. So one more question was, how can I get one-on-one support with Odoo for addressing specific issues I'm having? So yes, definitely. So we do have success packs. Remember that. So we sell success packs. Then thereby you get assigned a dedicated consultant who will work with you through your questions, through your implementation, and if there's any customizations needed, we help support with that as well. If it's related to Studio as well, we can help you with that as well. So definitely you can reach out. You can reach out to your account manager if you already have an account manager assigned, and they can guide you through the success pack as well. So you can easily search for it right here. So you have Odoo success packs. Show that to you right now. There. So you have Odoo success pack with their pricing, and they can definitely help you out. Or another option is if you would like to use a support team. These are for extremely standard questions. You can always submit your questions to odoo.com/help-form. And you can fill out a form here and then reach out as well through this. Okay. So let's go back. And let's see what the next questions are. Okay, so can you please go over how to set up forecasting? Forecasting questions associated with making sure we have plenty of products on hand to meet the forecast from customers. So Odoo's forecasting actually, let me show that to you. So I go to inventory. Let's go to products. So here. So this forecasted that you see is essentially based on the current on hand, what is expected incoming. That means those are the purchase orders that are yet to be received, but you're expecting it to be receiving. So that's why it's incoming, and minus outgoing. So these are the demand for the specific product, whereby you have sales orders, but you're yet to deliver it to them. So Odoo calculates the specific forecasting based on that. You can, like I mentioned, you can choose to have something called as reordering rules, whereby you can set a specific, min max, saying that, okay, I need to make sure I have at least this much amount of products on hand. And once you set that up, so like I can show that to you. So like for this one, we're like, okay, I would like to have a minimum of 100 units on hand at any time of the period per se. And then based on the moment you go below your minimum amount of 100, Odoo is going to actually either if the trigger is auto, then it's automatically going to either manufacture it for you based on if you manufacture this product or you buy this product, then Odoo is going to create a purchase order for you, provided you have the buy route set and you have a vendor set as well here. So then Odoo is automatically going to do that for you. You can also choose to manually do the replenishment, whereby Odoo tells you that, okay, we have something called as the replenishment screen. So let me show that to you. So that is where you have a whole overview of what you need to order, like based on what your forecasts are and based on what your minimum quantity is. So you can always go to operations, and then you have something called as replenishment right here. So as you can see, there are certain replenishments here. These are manual replenishments essentially. And it tells me that, okay, currently I have 2 on hand, but based on the different orders that I have, I'm forecasting it to go negative. That means I do need to place an order so that it meets that minimum amount, right? So I can just come here, and once you've created all the reordering rules, which are manual, you will see it show up here. And if there's a demand, you can always come and order it. So when you click on order, you will see that a PO is also automatically generated, and then you can start fulfilling it from there, essentially. For my manufacturing side of things, we do have some kind of predictability whereby you can forecast it. And that is called your, let me just activate the setting. And so we have something called as a master production schedule, whereby you can plan out the different manufacturing and also the purchase from here based on the forecast. So once you set up your master production schedule, that's one more option to do it as well. So let me just quickly show that to you. So there, with master production schedule, you have the option of opening this up. Yeah. So you can say that, okay, on this specific month and time, I need this specific product. So let's say I need 100 of these, 1,000 of these. And that is something you can plan it out across the board. And then based on the route of the product, Odoo will either create a purchase order for you or a manufacturing order for you. Okay. Master production schedule is something, it can get complex. So my recommendation is this. You would need to like test it out thoroughly to see how it applies to your specific business, essentially. But yeah, this is done through your master production schedule. So I can press order. And right now, I don't think there's a demand, but it's not letting me. But yeah, so essentially, this is the path forward for forecasting. Okay, so next one is, if you don't want to record the serial number when receiving items, would it be possible to record them when they are invoiced? No. So if a specific product is tracked by serial number, then it's important to receive it to assign the serial number when you receive it. The moment you start invoicing it, invoicing is strictly from an accounting side. This is from an inventory side. So it's important for you to assign it when you directly receive it on the receipt. So yeah, you will not be able to assign it later on. Odoo will probably throw an error and will not allow you to, Odoo will not allow you to validate that receipt without the serial number if the specific product is configured to be serialized. Okay. Okay, I can quickly show that to you as well. So let me just go ahead and create a product, simple product. So I'll just call this, chair. And I'll be like, okay, this product is tracked by serial number. So now let's go ahead and let's try to purchase this one. So I'm just going to set a vendor here and be like, okay, I purchased this from this corporation for, let's say $100. So let's go ahead and create a PO. Okay. Let's go ahead and create a purchase order. Oh, there's one more thing is, of course, I'm purchasing this product. So I need to make sure that my purchase checkbox is checked. So this button, this checkbox allows Odoo to select this product on the purchase order. So that's very, very important as well. So now let's open up my purchase order, purchase app. And I'm going to create a new purchase order with the same vendor. And let's say chair. Okay, so I'm purchasing 2 units of this. And I'm just going to hit confirm. You can also choose to send this PO to your vendor before you purchase it, or you can also choose to send an RFQ. That means sending this RFQ before you confirm the order as well. Okay? So that's an option. So once you do this, you have the option to receive it. So here you might notice if I try to validate, it's saying that, I need to supply a lot and serial number. So it's important you apply that, specify a lot and serial number. I can choose to, generate. Be like, okay, I want to generate 2 of them, and my first serial number is this. So I just hit validate. So as you can see, Odoo automatically assigns the 2 serial number that I just generated, making your life easier instead of trying to type in every single one. So if you just know the start number of the first serial number and it's following a sequential pattern, Odoo is able to generate it for you as well. If not, then we always have this import functionality whereby you can import the serial number if it is, if it doesn't follow a sequential pattern for you. So, and I hit save. And then, so once I have a serial number assigned, I can hit validate. So now as the moment I received it, you can go back to this product and you will see I have 2 on hand, right? And it tells me these 2 serial numbers that I just purchased. Okay. So to answer your question, no, you will have to receive it when you're receiving it on the receipt. Yeah. Another question is, can you explain the trial pricing? Not sure what that means, but are you referring to this, like the subscription? Because you pay per user essentially, and this is just a test database that is going to automatically expire in 14 days without a subscription. So you need to have a subscription. So in the subscription, you pay on a per user basis, whereby you have each of these users have access to so many different apps. So it's not app specific, it is user specific. So you can have a single user database and have access to all the applications that you need as well. Okay. So for any, so you can always reach out to your account manager in regard to this, and they should be happy to answer any pricing questions that you might have. Okay. Next question is, taking a look at it right now. So as a new user of Odoo, where do I start my learning material? Oh, very, very good question. So let me actually try to guide you in that process as well. So we have such amazing tutorials as well and documentations. So let me show you. If you just go to odoo.com odoo.com Odoo videos, you just type in Odoo videos, you will see so many different resources. Especially we have a YouTube channel whereby we have tutorials on each of the different features that Odoo comes with. So you can definitely refer to this. And apart from this, we also have our user documentation. We don't go to odoo.com, Odoo documentation. This is much more comprehensive documentation. It is per version. So let me open this up for you right now. So you can see this is just the tip of the iceberg, as I would like to say it. But you have your accounting, you have your inventory, manufacturing. These are just some top apps, but you have so many other options. There are technical documentation. There is functional documentation for you to refer to. We have also we have like our wonderful partners who also continue making YouTube videos or tutorial videos for the entire community. And then lastly, also I would like to point out to our help forums. If you go to odoo.com forum, we have a help forum whereby, as you remember that Odoo is such a vast community at this point, where people keep posting questions here, and you will have someone on the other helping you out or answering you there. And these forum posts are around the world, like the users are around the world who actively participate in this forum post. As you can see, 1 hour ago, 1 hour ago, 3 hours ago, someone has posted something. Someone's question that was posted 3 hours ago, we just got solved. So you can always use this as well. Okay. But yeah, so you have this. So you have multiple resources that you can definitely use. Okay. Deferred expenses. So how to use deferred expenses? So yeah, we can definitely review that right now. Okay. So for deferred expenses, that's going to be in my accounting app. Okay. So first step, I believe, is you need to go to configuration settings, and let's go to, where is my default setup? Why do I not have that here? Let me just look for it. So we first need to make sure we configure an account. There you go. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So we have two options. One is bill validation. The one is called manual grouped. Manually grouping is when you want each of the entries to be grouped into one entry, and you need to generate that manually over time. Or bill validation is something that is mostly used, whereby the different deferred entries are created at the time of the validation of the bill. Okay. Also remember that you need to make sure you set the deferred expense account here. So that is very, very important as well. Okay. So once that has been set up, now let's go ahead and actually go and create a bill which you would like to defer. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to vendors. I'm going to go to bills. Okay. New. So I'm going to select a vendor. Let's say I'm just going to select Gemini Furniture as my vendor. And I'm going to add a product here. You don't need a product, but in this case, I'll just put in a label. So I'll just call this, deferred expense. Okay. So now, very, very important is we have something called as the start and an end date. Oh, this thing is not here. So 1 second. To make sure, let me just go check the chart of account. Give me 1 second. It's not deferred. Consolidation. Yeah, deferred. So you need to make sure, this account for deferred expenses. So you need to make sure we add it. So let's do that. So now let's go back. So yeah, remember that we need to make sure you go to the chart of account, and the account that you use for deferred expenses has to, that expense account has to be checked. And then we go to vendors bills, and let's do that one more time. Okay, so as you can see, we already have one here, and so once that account has been checked, we are now able to select the specific period for which this needs to be deferred to. And so now if I click on Jan to December, that's what I'm trying to defer it. That's my period. So if I were to confirm this bill right here, you can see that Odoo created my deferred entries right here. And here, so once the Odoo entries are created, as you can see, since some of the months have been passed, those entries have been posted automatically. But the ones that will post in the future are created as draft entries right here. So you can see this draft entry is created. And one more thing is, when you look at these entries, you'll probably see that this specific entries are going to be posted automatically when there is that specific date. Okay. So it's specific. If I click on view, actually, you will see this auto post at date is when automatically set. So what this means is, once it reaches this specific date, Odoo will automatically post it for you. So your deferred entry is automatically recognized. Okay. So that answers your question. Okay. Next is, will you add more mandatory bridges, electric investor to the revenue authority by standard? Currently, you have a partner solution which is not sophisticated. So any mandatory bridges like electronic invoice bills, this is more of a question. I cannot answer that right now because this is more on the product side of things. So the product team, if remember that you can always submit feedbacks through odoo.com/help form, and if we qualify it to be a valid response, or once we qualify the need of that specific feature, of course if it goes to the product team and then they can include it if needed. So but yeah, definitely your current approach of using a partner solution is should be the path forward for now until we have it as a standard solution. Next is, I want to create an e-learning from Odoo. If I want to make it pay from e-money, should I subscribe first in non-free plan? I'm not sure I understand that, but I'm guessing, are you trying to try to sell a course? Is that you want to create a course on Odoo and you want to sell that course? Then yes, definitely that can be done. So if I go to e-learning and courses, so you can notice, let me open up one of these actually. If I go to furniture technical specification, you have the enrollment policy, and you can always link it to a product. So let me just create a new course actually, and give me 1 second. Invitation, enroll message, training. Oh, sorry, not everyone have the link. Give me 1 second and just something. Okay, let me just answer the question. Is it the e-learning from Odoo? If I want to make them pay from e-money, should I subscribe first to a non-free plan? Maybe I should. Yeah, so let me try to, let's take a look actually. Paid courses here. So you need to, of course, I forgot to activate that, but yeah, you need to activate paid courses. And let's confirm. Okay, so you have your paid courses right here. And if I go back, then you probably have an option there on payment. So then you have it on payment, and then you can link it to a specific product that you're selling online. And then it's going to be the normal e-commerce workflow whereby you have a payment method. People can just buy the product, and then they'll get an email saying that they'll get access to this course. So it's as simple as that. This specific product needs to be bought on your website or through through the sales order. Once this is purchased, it will automatically give that specific user access to that specific course, and then you can sell the course that way, essentially. Okay, does that make sense? So once you buy this course here through the website, essentially. But yeah, I have not set that up yet. That takes a little bit of configurations with payment providers and everything. But once it has been set up, yes, that is possible. Okay, so going ahead, landed cost with distribution keys. For instances, import duty by HS code instead of weight or price. So let's take a look. Need to make sure I've activated landed cost. So let's take that. So configuration settings. There, landed cost, save. So now let's go ahead and create a landed cost. So to answer your question, you would like to have the landed cost with different distributions. For instance, import duty by HS code instead of weight and price ratio. Oh, you mean to say the computation method? Is that what you are trying to, the split method? Is that what you are referring to? Like, I'm guessing so equally by quantity, by current weight, by current cost, weight, and volume, and you would like it to be done based on the HS code. Like HS code, how would you would need to quantify? We would need to quantify what, like, this will be probably a development actually. So you will need to do a custom development with a dev team or with a partner to ask Odoo to use HS code as a factor to split the landed cost across your products. So right now, no, we don't have that for HS code, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, HS code will not allow you. We do not have that for landed cost right now, but yeah, it definitely can be done with a custom development, and I wouldn't see it to be an impossible development. So it should be pretty doable. Yeah, but it needs to be done through customizations, 100%. So we do have some time still, so I can also show you. Remember that with version 19, we have a new app called, remember, we have Odoo AI. So the AI app is embedded into Odoo's database. This started from version 18.3, and we are consistently improving this. So remember that you can always leverage this in version 19.0 onwards in a much better for specific SH databases. But for SAS databases, this is available from 18.3 onwards. So I just wanted to quickly touch base on that as well. As you can see, we have, so you have multiple options. You can, of course, create your own AI agents, whereby you can just click the AI button here and be like, okay, show me specific sales product categories for this month, or do you have any customers in New Jersey? Show me the current cash flow status. They're just recommendations. You can ask AI. Do note that you need to have your own API keys. What I mean by that is you can choose to use a ChatGPT account or your Google Gemini account. And then only once that has been integrated and you have a valid API key is when that this agents could work. You can also choose to create your own agents based and ask it to do specific tasks or give you specific information as well. Do note that, with you are paying per token, so the tokens are going to be consumed. So remember that as well. Apart from this, remember, we have something called as AI fields and AI actions. Just want to quickly touch base on that. So for example, you have the CRM and you would like it to, read through my chatter and give me like a sentiment analysis. You can do that. So if you have Studio here, you can easily just drag and drop an AI field. You can create an AI field on the fly. So you have Studio 2. So this is a very important feature that has recently come up from version 19 onwards, whereby your ERP is getting smarter and smarter over time, helping you, making your life easier as a user on Odoo. So you need to make sure you write a correct prompt here, saying that okay, review the specific. So you can be like, okay, review. Sorry, my bad. Review my messages from. Then you can be like, okay, where should Odoo look at the field? So you can be like, okay, look at my messages. There, messages. And uh, provide something like provide me a sentiment of my customer. You know? So of course you need to make sure you prompt it correctly for it to work, but this would be the way you would need to go about it. Of course you need to be like, okay, what are my sentiments? Well, my sentiments are happy, are happy, uh, neutral, sad, something in that, or unhappy, so you can call this and be like sentiment. Yeah. So question is, using AI will make me pay the agent and not Odoo for tokens. Yeah, Odoo does not. So Odoo will not charge you for tokens. Remember that we are using the API key from Gemini, or we are using the API key from from ChatGPT, which is OpenAI essentially. So you'll have to buy the tokens from there. We are just using it essentially for your ERP, but it's going to be your account, your tokens. So you'll be charged by OpenAI or charged by Google through Gemini based on your usage essentially. Okay. So we have this here. Let's see if this. Okay, so you can see it pulled in some data saying that okay, this is happy based on the information here. This is in French, but hopefully it is a positive one. Similarly, I can also go to a different one. This one doesn't have any messages. So like, let's see, this one is saying it's neutral. So it has not reached a decision yet. Yeah, so it's saying neutral. So you can create multiple things here, and this is just the tip of the iceberg of what Odoo is capable of. And remember that this AI fields, similarly with AI fields, you have something called as AI automations as well. You can AI. So you can ask it to do something based on an AI prompt as well through an automation. So just like fields, you have AI automations as well. So Odoo has vast amounts of capability for us to leverage it for your different use cases. Okay. Another question is, how do I configure continental accounting in Odoo? And if I use continental accounting, how is the cost of goods sold determined, generated in the system? So continental accounting is through here. Let me show you. If I go to accounting, oops, sorry. Oh, Anglo is not here anymore. So if you go to accounting, yeah. So when it comes to content accounting, you need to make sure it's periodic. So that's what you need to do. When it's periodic, it is going to be continental accounting. When it is perpetual, it's going to be Anglo-Saxon. So that's the change where you have to change it to periodic. And is there anything else am I missing? No, that's about it. So you'll need to make sure you set it to periodic for you to use Anglo-Saxon. And remember that with periodic and with continental, you recognize the expenses at the bill level. So when it's periodic, you'll be able to use your cost of goods sold or your expense account on your bill directly. With perpetual, it uses your inventory valuation account. So remember that, because with perpetual, uh, your cost of goods sold or your expenses are recognized when you invoice the customer. Okay. Difference between replenishment and reordering rules, or are they linked? Good question. So they are linked. They're exactly the same thing. Manual reordering rules are on the replenishment report. That's what. Okay. So let's do that. Let me just quickly create one for you right now. So I'm going to go to reordering. Reordering. Oh, you don't see it. I can go to a product and do it from there actually. So if I go to products and let me just go to this one. So we have reordering rules here, which are two already of them are set. You can see that one is manual, one is automated. The one that is automated is a reordering rule whereby Odoo automatically triggers it. But a manual reordering rule is a ordering rule that will show up on the replenishment report. So if you want to use the replenishment report, you'll have to create manual reordering rules. Okay. So let me just go to a different product. You can show you. If I go to basic furniture creation, this is a service. Remember, it has to be a good. So cable management box, let me use that. And then I create a reordering rule here. Okay, I'll be like, okay, I would like to buy this from, I need to make sure I set the vendor. So very, very important. Set the vendor on the product. Let's say Anita Oliver is my vendor. And then I go back to my reordering rule. And I'll be like, okay, it's Anita Oliver we buy it from. And we set the trigger to be manual. We can be like, okay, my minimum amount is 50 and my maximum amount is 300. Okay. So you have this and this will then show up. Let's take a look. So what's the current on hand? So my current on hand is 90 and my minimum is 50. So technically this should not show up on my replenishment report. So if I go to my replenishment report, I'll just show you it was not going to be there. Replenishment, you don't see it here. Okay. But now let's go and update that. I'm going to go back to my products. And it was my cable management box. I go here and be like, okay, my minimum needs to be actually 100. Okay. Which means I'm below the minimum, right? So my on hand is 90, minimum is 100. And at this moment, if I go back to my replenishment screen, you will see that my cable management box shows up here. And it tells me how much I need to order. So you have that and you can just hit order or you can select everything and then order as well. Okay. So you can just do order. I think there's an issue with the route, but you can use this one because there's no route set. Then this one. So you can order this one. You can see my purchase order is created right here. So the difference between reordering rules and replenishment is just that one is the reordering rules are the same thing, but you have the option of automating it. And then the manual ones are triggered to the replenishment screen, essentially. Okay. Next is, can I change the theme in Odoo? Yes, you can 100% change a theme in Odoo. Website themes are definitely changeable. Here. And then you can edit. You have your theme. And then you can be like, okay, I would like to switch my theme because I don't like this one. Switch theme. Okay. And then I would like to use this one. So then again, once you change the theme, Odoo is going to rebuild the entire website for you, essentially. Okay. So I think we are about to reach to the end of our meeting today. I hope I answered most of your questions, or rather answer all your questions, right? And I hope you leave the session having learned something new, and hopefully you have an Odoo database running soon, and all your questions are answered as well. Okay. I would like to just go back. Oh yeah, one more thing. So as you can see, the specific theme has been updated as well. So I'm going to go to quickly show you what's going to happen next. Remember that we have the sessions ongoing. So the next session is going to be discussing on inventory and manufacturing. And that's going to happen on June 10th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So make sure to join us again. Thank you so much for spending your time here today. And hopefully you learned something as well. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye.